We got some of the best book titles out here I've ever seen, some of the best African artwork, some of the best jewelry, some of the best incense, some of the best sage. Don't leave here. I'm asking you, don't leave here without patronizing at least 3 vendors. And let's build some black power with your black dollar. Please donate as much as you can. We're almost done with this school. And I think we have just enough to finish it. But we haven't even begun to build for this one. We will be able to host any conference. We'll be able to host any seminar, any retreat. I can't wait till we host the first annual International Black Women's Conference. I can't wait till we host the first annual International Black Men's Conference. I can't wait till we host the Black Wall Street Conference, the Black Vendors Conference, the Black Entrepreneurial Conference, the Black Farmers Conference, the Black Youth Conference, the Black Media Conference. And for those of us who know Africa is home, I can't wait till we host the Black Repatriation Conference.
Give them some, push it up, Doc, so they can get more.
Yeah.
I told you I was the Lion King.
That was perfect.
Okay, do not shoot at the drone. That is my videographer. Where the child at? Bring the child up here. Where the child at? Where the child at? Bring the baby. The baby missing? Come on up with the baby. Phone number. Thank you, Queen. We have a baby up here. Who's baby? Come on up, Natalie. We got a young brother. He's okay though, right?
Yeah, he was sleeping.
Okay, about 2 years old maybe. He was over there sleeping. Who left the baby? Give it a minute. I think the mom or dad, they probably smoking some weed. They'll be back. Just give them a minute. I think the mom or dad, they probably smoking some weed. They'll be back. Just give them a minute. I think the mom or dad, they probably smoking some weed. They'll be back. Just give them a minute.
All right, Cookie Crush Chat, thank you so much for tuning on in. It's going to be a quick live stream today. I want to thank everyone for tuning on in. Cookie Crush Chat's all undefeated. Let's go.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG.
Hold on. Yeah. Nah, I got this.
It's coming, FDMG. It's coming, it's coming. 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 Oh, it's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. Thought his personality be twerking. It's twerking.
All right. Thank you all so much for tuning on in. Creel said tax evasion tacos. That's going to be on Umar's menu for his Black Vegan Sports Bar, non-alcoholic. Welcome, everyone. Thank you, Creel, for tuning on in to one of the OGs from way, way back in the day. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. We're going to get right on into it. Every time I say we're going to have a quick show, we get caught up, and then we be here for months. But I really want to get into this. This is a little bit different because I normally don't cover Umar when he's being interviewed. However, Dear Woke Christian, he changed his YouTube name. I can't remember what it is now, the new one. But he sent me a link to this and said that at a certain point, Umar really starts to talk reckless, sexual depravity stuff. And he said that I should check it out. And I said, okay, I will check it out. What I'll do is I'll just cover it. So what we're going to do for that particular interview, which was, I think it was about maybe from a week and a half ago, we'll just go to the segment right before Umar starts to talk crazy and reckless, and then we'll watch it to the end. So we shouldn't be here that long. I want to thank everyone for all of the support, and the numbers have been skyrocketing. I can't thank you guys enough. So thank you so much. If you're new here, welcome. Even if you're Umar Johnson follower, welcome. We're not here to bash you. We're here to get to the truth, and that's what it comes down to. Thank you, Creole Angel. Speaking of the truth, Creole Angel here, Pasta's here. She's been around from the beginning. Okay, she was around when I was a broke bum. So thank you for hanging in there with me, sis. I appreciate it. Okay, what's up, Swag? Home Southern Cooks and Bobby. I thought Swag Onito's in the building. Vision, thank you. Salute to you as well. I appreciate it. Everyone inside the Cookie Crush chat. How's it going, Southern Kiss Melanie? Cookie Crush chat's undefeated. There is a poll question today. There's already 667 votes. What do you think about Umar's sexually explicit comments? Now, he has a history of this anyway, but we're going to get specifically into this particular interview. He has a history of this. 5% said it's not a big deal. 17% said it's concerning. 20% said it's really bad. 58% says it proves that he's a nasty freak. Okay. And in my opinion, Umar is a nasty freak. Okay. Real talk. It is what it is. Okay. So make sure you get your vote in on the poll during this live stream. And if at any point during this live stream you're enjoying yourself, make sure you hit that like button. That's one of the reasons why these numbers have gone up, because y'all been very gracious with the likes. So if you enjoy the show at any given point, take you 2 seconds, hit that like button. It helps with the algorithm, and we rocking and rolling. We're going to take the rock out, because that's what Umar, you be saying that. We don't condone that type of behavior. All right. Smitty Boy sent in the super chat, said, Uncle Lennon, my birthday just passed. Can I get the rent so I can start blocking Umar spammers? Okay, I gotta find you in the chat room in order to do that. So happy birthday! Let's give Smitty Boy, if you can comment again, and I'll hit you up with a wrench. Smitty Boy, everyone, if we can give Smitty Boy happy birthday wishes. Okay, congratulations on that, and thank you for the super chat, sir. I appreciate it. And then Miranda says, "Hey, Leonard and Quick Chat, got my yeah. You might need some popcorn. You might need some popcorn for this one, because from what I heard, Umar really gets crazy with it, and he has a history of that anyway." But for whatever reason, Dear World Christian said that he was really off the top. So we're going to get into that during this live stream. Okay. All right. Thank you guys again for tuning on. Oh, I got to get in here to 1 second. I got to get into here. It is right here. All right. Okay. And I also want to thank the mods too for handling business. You guys have done a fantastic job. What's up, James? Thanks for tuning on in. And Crystal and DJ Nichols. What's up? How you doing? Manny's in the building as well. Black Wolf. By the way, I think it was you, Black Wolf, that had asked for the video. It was I think it was you yesterday. Asked for the video of what Umar was talking about, the buses, and how he was going to have different buses in different states that are going to pick the children up to bring them to the school. I looked and I could not find that video. Okay, I could not find it. I have it, but I did not archive it properly, so I got to run through it at some point, and I'll run through it at some point as I continue to research and take notes for the documentary. But I do have something special for you all, Cookie Crush chat. So shout out to Lene, because she sent me a whole bunch of information, but she sent me this yesterday, and I wanted to share it yesterday, but I wanted to make sure it was okay for her to share it before I shared it here. And she said, yeah, it's fine. So I want y'all to look at this. Here we go. I don't know what to say about this. However, this is the FMG bus, one of the FMG buses. Okay, King Kong, Consciousness Rocks, Dr. Umar. They got him in a cape and everything. Got some kids on the side towards the right end of the bus. FMG Academy, 1865. Prince of Pan-African and Dr. Umar, FMG Leadership Academy, King Kong. We got Umar standing, and there's a gorilla standing behind him. Got Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey on there. I can't read the text. I can't make the text out over there on the bus, the door to the bus. But listen, I'm not here to judge. I'm just showing it to you all. Okay. I just want to ask a quick question: if you had an opportunity to have your children ride in this bus, would you let them ride in this bus? Hit the 1 if you let them ride in this bus. Hit the 2 if you wouldn't let them ride in this bus. Okay. All right. I'm not here to judge. I'm just passing along the information. All right. Okay. Let me do these other super chats real quick, and we're gonna get right on into it. How's it going? Holly B says, "Hey, Lynn, I want to say hey to you in the Cooking Crush chat. I have seen a number of YouTube videos about Umar Johnson, and most people think he's scamming. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about Umar now, and I will say more than ever. And that says a lot because even going back even to the conscious stripper days, I remember that was blowing up all over the place. But this most recent thing, also when he went on his daughter, there's a lot of people that started to speak out against him. But his rant against Lene, I think that took it over the top, and then people were already pissed at Umar after that, including a lot of his black women supporters, because that it's just inappropriate for him to be talking like that. So it was cool. He was cool with her when he was sexually exploiting her, but as soon as she tells the business, all of a sudden she got a fish tank. Okay, most black women don't take kindly to that and a lot of black women have had that level of abuse or even betrayal by men who, after they done dealt with them, and they get upset. The man gets upset with them, then the man start talking crazy about them. See? And yeah, it can go both ways too. But see, Umar is supposed to be the black conscious leader, and he's supposed to be held to a higher standard, if you will, right? So there was people who were already upset with Umar about that, and then he comes through with this whole bank account scam, and that was it for people. For a lot of people. So it's just been building this whole year. It's been building. And then now you go on YouTube, and I don't even check Instagram or TikTok, but people tell me that they clown him over there too. There's all kinds of people talking about Umar on many different platforms. But right now, this is like it's overwhelming. I think it's very overwhelming for Umar, but this is what he gets. The chickens are coming home to roost. And I encourage people, if you have been speaking about Umar, do even more research into him, and you will find that there's so much more, even beyond this bank scam, the bank account scam, even beyond Lene, even beyond. I mean, it goes. There's so many different things that Umar has involved. He's shady. And in my opinion, he's a nasty freak. We're going to get into that today. Okay. So yeah, a lot more people have been speaking about it, and that's great. That's great. I encourage people to. Thanks, Holly B, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Texas Diva says, I don't have popcorn, but I have my collard greens and baked chicken. That's fine. You have a meal. Sometimes you want the snacks. Sometimes you want the meal. Sometimes you want the snacks and then the meal. But as long as you have sometimes you just want the drink. Okay, but that's good. That's fine. Collard greens and baked chicken. Do your thing. Right? Thanks, Texas Diva, for the super chat. Yeah, it's like a reality show. Someone said that yesterday. So you want to have a snacks and stuff. I have my smoothies. That's what I have in my cups. I make smoothie before I start. Until it gets cold. Once it gets cold, I'll probably have tea. Daxter sent in a super sticker. Thank you so much, Daxter. D-Ski Veli says, if we respect people for what they offer in i.e. entertainment, sports, blackness, instead of idolizing people, we would have the ability to hold them accountable. This would eliminate manipulation and abuse. I agree with that. I think part of it is that Umar has been idolized, and that's the way that he has become idolized is through manipulation. As an example, Umar claims to be the Black Christ. He claims to be the Messiah, the Black Messiah. Okay, he idolizes himself. He says he's the most requested scholar. Okay, that's not true, but he does. That's idolization. It's self-worship, self-aggrandizement. Okay, he says he's a school psychologist. He's not. He says he's a school principal. He's not. He says that he's a therapist. He's not a child therapist. He's not. He says he's a family therapist. So he's not. All of that is to build this persona of idolization. He has 6 degrees. He says he has 6, but based upon what I know, he has at most he has 5. It could be less, but at most I give him credit for 5. Okay, but that's all. He's building a school. He hasn't built anything. Real quick, has anyone ever seen Umar building anything? Those buildings were sitting there long before Umar acquired them in February of 2019. So why does he say stuff like that? Well, it's for the idolization. He wants people to worship him because he's so accomplished. When in point of fact, he's a failure. See, he's failure in male-female relationships. He's failure as a father. He's a failure as a businessman. He's a failure as a quote-unquote, I don't know what you would call this, someone who's doing renovations on the building. He's a failure at that 6.5 years. See? I mean, the list goes on and on and on. He doesn't have his own home. See, he's a failure as an adult. He's a failure as a son based upon how his mother is living. So that's the truth. But Umar, he's carefully crafted over decades this persona that has manipulated people in such a way to where they idolize him. And that's the problem, because once you start idolizing people on that level, then they become, you see them as beyond reproach. And that's what I want to kind of correct in people. You know, you got to see Umar for who he is. Lene talked about this too, because people have this misconception about who he is. See? With the idolization, there's no criticism. It becomes a cult, right? Yeah. And of course, once it becomes a cult-like environment, then there's no accountability. And that's what Umar fears the most. He does not want to be held accountable for all of the women that he has manipulated financially. He doesn't want to be held accountable for all the women that he's manipulated sexually. He doesn't want to be held accountable for this school scam. Right. And I'm talking about the Wilmington school scam. He's had other ones, the St. Paul school scam, the Chicago school scam, the Detroit school scam, the New York school scam, the Florida school scam, the Atlanta school scam. See, people don't know about all that. He doesn't want to be held accountable for all of the money that he's collected. Millions of dollars, in my opinion. I can prove without a shadow of a doubt $1.6 million since 2018. 2018 to 2024. I can prove that. I've already proven it. Right. But my best estimate is $2.7 million as a lowball estimate. See, he doesn't want to be held accountable for that. That's why he doesn't have a board of directors for his nonprofit. See, so that's the big issue with Umar. He wants people to praise him and to idolize him so that they perceive him to be beyond reproach and they can't critique him or that they can ask questions. His followers ask questions. They've been asking a lot of questions lately. And what does he do? He goes off on them. He blocks them. And then sometimes he'll take what they post and then he'll repost it with his response. And his response is horrible. He has no respect for his followers. But see, for someone like Umar, why would he have respect for people who just adore him and idolize him? See, you're good. This is really good right here. Real good. Thank you, Deeski Veli, for the super chat. Diana says, I'm new here, but have you had ex-Umar fans come on and share why they changed their minds? I'd be curious where they drew the line or saw the light. Yeah, I have in the past. Information Man donated to Umar. He's an open critic. I interviewed him. He's an open critic. There's people inside this chat room, though, Diana Martinez, who used to follow Umar. And yeah, there is always this this breaking point. You know how they use that term, the straw that broke the camel's back. There's always something. And I think for a lot of people currently, that is Umar when he gets online and tells us, he starts this whole bank account freeze scam, frozen bank account scam. That was the last straw for a lot of people. There were a lot of people when Umar went on Lene, was talking real crazy and reckless. That was the final straw for a lot of people. So I just think that it's different for different people. Matter of fact, if there's anyone in the chat room and you were Umar Johnson follower before, what was the final straw for you? Just say type in final straw and then type what that is. And you'll see, Deanna, there's a lot of people in the chat room, whether they actually comment on this or not or respond to it or not, who used to follow Umar, but at a certain point they realized what he was all about. And there's usually that final straw that breaks the camel's back. Thanks, Diana. And I never believed in Umar. When people sent me, someone sent me something about him in 2014 on Facebook, and that's when he did the video at St. Paul's College. And they said, well, what do you think about this? And I just looked at the video, and just even back then, I didn't know nothing about Umar. I'd heard about him, but I didn't research him. I didn't know anything. And I knew right away that something wasn't right because he didn't have a plan. He just was asking for money. He didn't have a team. You know, he was sitting up there looking goofy. You know, I said, no, this something ain't right about this. And even back then, I knew that St. Paul school scam, that there was nothing that was going to ever come out of that. And here we are 11 years later, and nothing has come out of that. Okay? Thanks, Diana Martinez. James says that bus is from K&K and she gave him 10K. Yeah, 10,000. That's what I heard. That's what people have been saying. There's someone named K&K and she said, yeah, I think you sent me that video where she said that she donated $10,000 to Umar and got him that bus. And that would be, I'm going to assume this bus right here. Yep. Thanks, James, for the super chat. What's up, brother Dion says, what in the kindergarten paper mache is going on? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to pass the information along. That's all I'm here to do, brother, my brother. Thank you, Dion, for the super chat. Smitty Boy says, Uncle and Cooker chat, can we say this year Umar has been taking so many L's. Yeah, and we're not even through the year yet. This year, from family drama, his daughter exposing him, locked out of his account. Soon enough, he's going to lose it. Hashtag failure. He's a perpetual failure. See, it's okay to fail. I've been a failure too. It's okay, but you got to win at some point, right? You got to win. Umar, he's taking L after L after L. And we ain't even through the end of the year. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, you guys wait, because watch when winter comes. Here we go. You guys watch when winter comes. When it starts getting cold up over there, you guys watch. That's when it's really gonna be bad for this guy. See, Cash App got shut down. He allegedly his bank accounts are frozen. People aren't sending him the type of money that they used to send. He owed people money, I'm sure. You wait till we get to wintertime. You notice he hasn't live streamed inside his mama closet in months. You guys notice that? Hit the one. Because we've been on that, right? And I did that video to break that down, in terms of Umar when he got evicted in 2019. He's been homeless ever since. They said, well, how can you say that he's homeless and he lives with his mama? Well, the reason why he stay with his mama when he can is because he's homeless. So what are you talking about? He's not on a lease. He's living off of his mama. He don't have his own place. I should pull up that receipt right now, but I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. Because we got to get going here. See, people try to make excuses for this guy. He's been homeless since 2019, the end of 2019. And he's not on the lease paperwork for that Section 8 housing. He's not supposed to be there. And he knows that because he admits that it's in an implicit way, like it's implied, but I know what he's saying. He's not supposed to be living there. He's supposed to be there to take care of his mama, even though he's traveling around the world. But he's not on the paperwork for that particular Section 8 housing. So he's not supposed to have residence there. And yet he's taken over the whole second floor. He's living off of his mama. Okay. So that's why I say that he's homeless, because he is homeless. He doesn't have his own home. He's 50. He's been homeless since 2019. It's about to be 6 years. In about 2 months. But of course, he's the most requested scholar, and he's King Kong consciousness, and he's Big Papa, and he's a school psychologist, and all this other shit that he's not. But I'll tell you right now, he's homeless. Anyway, yeah. So we'll see as this continues to progress, because we're not even to the end of the year yet, and we still, once that winter time kick in, late fall, winter, you guys watch. Mark my words. Thanks, sweetie boy. Jason says, no one in history has ever woke up and said, I wonder who's the most requested scholar in the Black conscious community. Yeah. That just goes to show the narcissism with Umar. Like, who even thinks of something like that? Okay. First of all, it's not quantifiable, right? And second of all, it's not true. I highly doubt that that's true, Umar. Now, if you guys going to look at Umar's schedule, I think he has like 2 things this month. And most of the time, he'd be begging other people. If you're the most requested, why are you always begging other people to find you venues? Who even thinks like that they're the most requested scholar? He lives in a delusional world. Really, he wants to be Marcus Garvey. He wants to be like on that level. Frederick Douglass. He wants to be on Malcolm X. He wants to be Martin Luther King. He wants to be on that level, right? But he's not. You're on that level. You live in your mama closet? Deadbeat. What you talking about? See, but who thinks like that in the first place? See, that's not normal, but that's Umar. All right. Thanks, Jason, for the super chat. Let's see. Sal says the Pookie of Pan-Africanism struggle buses. I'm not here to judge the bus. I ain't gonna do that, because one of his followers, they actually got that bus for him. And so I don't want to do that. Okay, I understand what you're saying. But it just goes to show you Umar's influence, and he's there's people that's given him all types of things over the years. I remember people sent him jacket, sent him cologne, sent him a tablet, sent them like a Chromebook. So I think it was a tablet. They sent him shoes, So I guess it's just tears to this. In this case, they sent him a bus. hey, I'm not here to judge. Thanks, Sal. Let's see chat. Sweet D says, one content creators used Google Earth to look around the entire neighborhood this morning. It will shock you, the surrounding area. I know what you're talking about. The year prior to Umar purchasing these abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware in February of 2019, Wilmington, Delaware was ranked 6th or 7th. I'm going to go with 6th in the nation for violent crime per capita. It's hood over there. There is some gentrification taking place, but it's hood over there. I have videos of homeless people sleeping on the steps up there. I have video of Umar. He was up there. There was a bucket where people were using it as a toilet. And there was a syringe. He moved some stuff over. There was like baby diapers or something crazy. And then he moved some stuff over. There was a syringe on the ground. That's why when Umar was up there, he saw that little white rock. That's that environment. He saw that little white rock on the steps, and he goes over and starts looking at it and fidgeting with like a dope fiend. That's the whole environment over there is like that. And I don't understand why people, I don't even know. I'll just say why Umar would think that people are going to pay $500 a month to send their children to this drug-infested, crime-infested, it's a weed and seed community, a drug-infested, crime-infested neighborhood. Pookie's walking around all over the place. That's why Umar's so comfortable up there. See? Yeah, it makes no sense whatsoever. It's hood up over there. Thanks, Sweet D. And he fits right in. He fits right in. Thanks, Sweet T. Black Wolf says, I followed Umar's idea of the school, even donated 40 to this foul, to this food. Then I found your very first vid on Umar and switched my thought on him immediately. I did not know that. I did not know all these years. I did not know that you used to follow Umar. You donated $40. Yeah, I bet you wish you get that $40. I mean, you probably don't need it, but just the idea, you know what I'm saying? Then I found your very first vid on Umar and switched my thoughts on him immediately. All right. Well, shout out to Black Wolf. Black Wolf is one of the old OGs. And the good thing is it's a good thing. The good thing is that you realize the truth. And then, because see what happens with a lot of people, they'll just keep holding on and keep defending Umar. And in some cases, keep donating. And at a certain point, you people got to think about that. I mean, it's like a waste of time. It's a waste of money. But Umar, he's a master manipulator. So he's still stringing people along who were following him way back then. And they know something's not quite right. But he's still stringing along to this day. And some of them are still donating to this day. Right. So it's great that you figured that out quick. I'll tell you that right now. Let's see. Black Wolf says, I want my. I hear that. You know what I'm saying? Because money is time and time is life. That's the way I look at it. Because we only have a finite amount of time. And as you get older, your time is more valuable because you have less time. Right. That's how I'll be thinking these days. So your money is your time. Right. And then your time is your life. That's how I look at this. It's unfortunate because Umar's taken a lot of life out of people. I'm just speaking from a financial standpoint. You can also look at it in terms of betraying people. That has an adverse effect on people too. He's taken a lot of people's time, right? And then there's opportunity costs associated with time that's wasted. So that's how I'll be thinking about stuff, especially these days. Thanks, Black Wolf, for the super chat, and thanks for sharing. I did not know that all these years. I did not know that. Yep. Okay, Ricochet Rose says Shamar Moore to play Leonard and Umar. Here we go. I had a guy, I said, it's not my current place where I work now, but the place I worked at before that, and he was a pastor, and he came up and he says, you remind me of Shamar. I said, man, if you don't stop. Okay, thanks, Ricochet Rose. I got an announcement on that Umar movie too. I'm just waiting to hear back from Mary Ann. Okay, so hopefully I hear back tonight, and then I'll have an announcement for everyone. I'll probably tomorrow. I don't plan on live streaming tomorrow, but I do have a video that I have lined up that's going to premiere. It's a shorter video. It's like 16 minutes or something like that. That'll premiere, and then what I want to do is to have a video premiere Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then we'll reset for Monday with live streams. Okay, that may change, but that's what my plan. Because see, Umar, he was tripping. He was tripping this month. And I haven't spoke on it, and there's people who emailed me about this, and I want to thank everyone who's done that. And you guys probably already know what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to give it any energy. The way that I look at it is that Umar, he did that out of desperation, but that's because we're winning, right? Real talk. And then there's a lot of other people who are criticizing him too. So he's losing. He's losing. So he's in a state of desperation. And that was his way to try to get at me, but it just doesn't work. Because see, I don't react emotionally. What I said, what we're going to do is this month, my goal is to have one video up a day for this whole month. And that could be something I upload, like tomorrow I'll upload a video. and set it as a premiere. And I'll be in the chat room while we're watching it, or it'll be a live stream like today or like yesterday or like on Monday. That's the plan. And so what that's going to do is going to continue to apply pressure and continue to apply pressure. And more people will see these videos and my subscribers will go up. And that's what's been happening. And then people are getting into the archive for the older videos. There's people who are signing up for memberships. They can get into even the older videos that I've done. You see how I've turned that around? That's what you call being a strategist, as opposed to being emotionally unstable and reacting like Umar. Yeah. So I do have an announcement that I wanted to make today, but I have to hear back from Mary Ann. And hopefully she responds today or this evening. And then if she does, then I'll have something else for you guys tomorrow. All right, let's go. Thank you, Ricochet Rose. Ricochet Rose. I apologize, Derek. Okay, let's get into the video. We did good. We only went 30 minutes. Yesterday we went 2.5 hours. Then we finally got to the video. Okay, so this is the video. This is from. I want to give a shout out to Breakbeat Media, and the sister's name, the young lady's name is she goes by Don't Call Me White Girl, and her YouTube page is Breakbeat Media. We're going to go to the 2 hour and 45 second mark, and we're going to watch it through to the end to see what happens with this. Okay, there is a poll question too, by the way. We already have 1,237 votes, 40 votes. What do you think about Umar's sexually explicit comments? 6% said no big deal, 70% said it's concerning, 21% said it's really bad, and 57% is fluctuating right here. 57% said it proves that he's a nasty freak. And this just doesn't include what we're going to be watching today. Everything else that Umar has talked about, where he's talking reckless, including his sexualized comments about children. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's get into it. Thank you guys again for tuning on in. Cookie Crush chat is undefeated. Let's go.
So, brother, say, you know what, Dr. Umar, I've been reading into you. I'm getting into you, so intelligent. I feel like a lot of your principles will advance us as a community. I didn't marry this white girl. What do I do? You say,
when the children, no, not if you got babies.
Okay.
As much as I don't support the bunny hop, if you had babies with women of another race, it is not those children's fault that you hate yourself. So if you ain't pregnant, stay with me. Wilmington, Delaware, stay with me. And I get these questions from black men. They ask me.
Yeah.
And you know what? How old are your children? Well, I got a 5, a 6, or 7. I said, brother, it's not fair.
Men have to ask you that and they got a white woman.
That, Dr. Umar, I'm conscious now. I wasn't conscious. And they say, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do, Ifatunde? And I tell them, I said, you got to stay in that house.
To the baby.
Umar's so dramatic. What you mean stay in the house? You deadbeat. He don't take care of his own kids. He got baby mamas out here. He ain't married not one woman. Anyway.
He's grown. You know why? Because if you leave that white woman, she bringing a white man in there. Do you want that white man looking at your daughter?
Right.
Do you want...
Hey, wait a minute. Umar, who are you with your nasty freak ass? Let me stop.
That white man chastising your black sons? The biggest mistake black men make when they make these babies with these non-black women is if this relationship don't work.
What are you talking about? He done flipped the whole script around. First he was talking about, anyway, this guy, he's so goofy. And stop yelling, you big. He's so dramatic.
Child gonna be raised by not only another man, but a man of another race who can't stand yours.
Yeah. Okay, it's interesting because Umar doesn't even take care of his own children. He hasn't raised not one child. He has at least 3 baby mamas. He has not raised one child in his life. He's 50 years old.
Yeah, that's deep.
So you got to stay there. I would never tell a black man to walk out on his kids because the mother white. Nah.
What about walking out on your kids just because? You're a deadbeat, Umar. Would you tell black men to do that? See how hypocritical? This guy, he's so hypocritical. It's a shame. I wonder if this young lady knows that Umar's a deadbeat, that he got 3 baby mamas out here, and that he impregnated one of them when he was in his early 40s and she was in her early 20s. I wonder if she knows that about Umar. I wonder if she knows about Umar's daughter right now and the struggles that she's dealing with. And Umar has done absolutely nothing to mitigate the situation. In fact, he's made it worse. Meanwhile, he don't even know if his own kids was raised by another race. Yeah. And you know what else? He didn't even know whether or not one of his daughters was still alive. How about that? Y'all remember the video? That was the Lene video where Umar was talking real reckless about fish tanks and stuff, right? That wasn't that the video? So how he's such a hypocrite. He don't even know if his children are alive or not. He get on live stream talking crazy. And then yet he gonna try to tell black men you need to do this and black women you need to do that and this, that, and the third. He's such a hypocrite. Thanks, James. It's a good point too.
You dug that ditch.
You ain't got
Lay in
nothing.
it.
You ain't got nothing with that with a German Shepherd. Do you pack up and leave? Do you take the dog or you leave the dog with the lady?
What you talking about? I don't understand what you saying right there. Let's see.
You don't
depends.
have any children. All y'all got is a
How
lizard.
close is she with the dog?
That's your.
Listen, Umar, what are you talking about? What in the world is going on here? What's going on?
Son, the dog is your child. You don't have any human
I'm just
children.
saying they just locked the guy up the other day because they caught him having sex with his dog. No, this was on the news.
What you talking about? Out of all the things that Umar could have said, his mind goes to having sex with a dog. What in the world? What kind of P did he freak off fish in the bed and ostriches in the what's going on here?
No, it really was a guy on the
Yeah, he
news the
was
other
having
day.
sex with his dog.
Yeah.
What that got to do with anything? He always takes things to the worst result. He do. It's always some kind of extreme. He assumes all white people hate black people, and that's so ignorant. Yeah. And she sounded I think she's just going along with it, to be honest with you. I think because we're watching like the last maybe fourth of the video. Okay, because it's not even, it's about a fourth of the video, the last fourth of the video. That makes sense to people. So I'm sure the whole interview was crazy because Umar, he's nuts. So she might just be going along with it. But I'm telling you, for him to bring up the dog situation, why even bring that up? Who thinks like that? But you're right, Holly B. Umar always brings up like the worst case scenarios when he's talking about black people, and just like it's always the worst with this guy. Thank you, Holly B. That's a good point. That's something you guys can actually look out for with Umar. He's always going through this extreme worst case scenario when he talks about black people. Thanks, Holly B. Jana sent in a super secret. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This right here. This is because I forgot your new podcast name, but this is Dear Woke Christian right here. He's changed the name of his podcast to the Jay Witt Podcast. And then he says, I told you Umar was wilding out. Great show, sir. Hit the like button, fam. Yeah, thank you so much. And I appreciate you too, bro. If you're enjoying the show already, go on and hit that like button. And let's give a shout out to the Jay Witt Podcast, because I wouldn't even have done this if he hadn't emailed me. And I have a lot of respect for him. So if you guys can, let's give some love to him inside of the chat room. Okay. And this is if you guys, again, I'm going to say this because you probably unfamiliar because he changed this recently, the Jay Wood Podcast. This is Dear Woke Christian. Okay. He's been on here before. And I've checked out his show many times. Okay. So thanks for super chat as well. Okay. James said she's a stand-up comedian. Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know much about her, but she has a podcast and she has a lot of subscribers. So she's doing very well in the podcast space. So that's great. Good for her. I don't know what her actual name is, but I heard she goes by Don't Call Me White Girl, but her YouTube page is Breakbeat Media. And thanks, James. Black Anonymous says Umar was in South Africa dancing and laying in a nice, comfy bed without knowing if his child was alive and his mother is living in filth. Yeah, I have the video. Matter of fact, let me just show you, because again, what Umar would do is before he would go on these trips, in particular to Africa, he would beg for money. And then he would use that money over in Africa, and there's a conversion rate. So he can live real good up over there while he's over there, but then he comes back broke again, and then he has to beg again. That's what he did the first time. And then he comes back, he does the Lene video, and then he begged for money for a legal fund. See, this is another scam, right? Because his accounts was hacked by Lene and by me, allegedly, whatever. And so he begs for money, and there are people who get it. And so then he takes that money, goes back over to Africa again. See that? Right. And then he comes back. So this is what happens over and over with this guy. And then when he comes back, he says that his bank accounts were frozen. So he needs more money then. See? But while he was over in Africa, he was living his best life. And that tends to be Umar's his MO. So let me see if I can find this video where he's over here. Yeah, here it is right here. So this was him over in Africa. All right. All right, and then we didn't cover this video, but this was him over in Africa chilling. What in the world? He got he got a crate bed going on. Okay. What in the world? Let me see if he says anything. Oh, I don't think he says anything. He just.
My Pretoria family.
Oh, here we go.
Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Durban family, my KwaZulu family, my Cape Town family.
You can see the screws in the crate and everything.
My Eastern Cape, my Kaialisha family. We will be at Funders Community Center in.
Yep, there you go. Yep. All right. Thanks, Black Anonymous. Her name is Mona. Okay, so the sister's name is Mona. Okay, and then her podcast again is Breakbeat Media, and then she also goes by Don't Call Me White Girl. Okay, so her name is Mona. Thank you for letting me know, Tink Gee. I appreciate that. Jana says, see the recent video with holes in the. Yeah, we covered that yesterday. Yeah, we covered it yesterday. Yeah, that's when he was trying to figure out what color for the tiles, but he's always doing stuff like that. What color for the paint and all this other stuff. He just recycles and nothing ever gets done. Those same ceiling tiles that were missing in that video, they were missing back in September. Well, no, that's not true, because what happened, let me tell you all what happened real quick with the ceiling tiles. So when Umar Percy's abandoned buildings, obviously they were in bad shape. They're still in bad shape. He has made some improvements, but they're still in bad shape. But there were ceiling tiles because the roof, there were so many issues with the roof that the roof was leaking, and the buildings have been sitting up, if memory serves me correctly, for about 4 years. So they're exposed to the elements because there's water damage too down this hallway too. I saw that in a video about a year ago. But anyway, so with leaks in the roof, what would happen is when it would rain, it would leak through the roof, and then it would drop down on those ceiling tiles, and then it would stain the ceiling tiles. You guys have probably seen that before, because I remember even when I was a child in school, if there was a leak someplace in the roof, you'll see it stain, and it can look really bad. So Umar, instead of replacing them, he took them down. Okay, so a lot of the stuff that you see, the missing tiles, he took those down because they were all stained, and he kept them. He wanted to actually try to wash them somehow instead of just buying new ones. That's what happened. It just goes to show you where his mentality is, especially about the money, right? He wants to collect as much as he can, and then spend the least amount, including if he takes these ceiling tiles down because they're stained. Somehow he's going to figure out how to wash them so that they're no longer stained. Even in terms of opportunity costs with time doing all of that, it's not even worth it. Why not just go and purchase some brand new ones? Because at the end of the day, you end up saving. Remember, time is money, right? Time is life. Why not just go, you save a whole lot more time, which is money, which is life. Okay. And time is life. This makes sense. Just go and buy some brand new ones and put them up. But he didn't want to do that because he's shady. It's all he wants to keep as much money in his own pocket as possible. Now, he broke down, obviously, but do you see the point? Yeah. So that's the whole the thing, the ceiling thing with the ceiling tiles, that's been going on for a very long time. He still hasn't corrected that issue 6.5 years later. Thanks, Jenny. But this goes to show you he ain't serious about opening up no school. James says he's going to Africa to learn how they be swindling Americans, then come back and use it on his own people. No, James, he already knows how to do it. Listen, Umar's been at this. It's been at least 2 decades, going all the way back to the UNIA. That was in 2005. It's been at least 2 decades. The thing with Umar, James, is that he's refined it over the years. See, because it's like I was saying this yesterday, and I was thinking about it. I told people, because someone had asked me, well, how much longer do you think Umar can keep this going on? Because it's been going on a long time. He conceptualized this in 2004. All right. So, and I remember when he acquired these abandoned buildings in February 2019, the people were asking me the same question. Well, how much longer do you think he can keep this up now that he has these? And I said, maybe 3 years, 4 years max. Well, we're 6.5 years in. Totally wrong on that. So what I'm getting at is, in terms of Umar, that's another 6.5 years to refine these scams. See? I know he's getting more and more reckless with the bank account scam and all this other in the all of this other stuff. I see that he's getting more reckless because he's more desperate, but he knows how far he can go in order to get money out of people. Let me give you another example, James, and I can show you guys a video. Did you guys know that Umar? There was a time. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it up. There was a time where Umar was trying to get money out of his donors so that he can go to law school. I think it was $300,000, if memory serves me correctly. Yeah, here we go right here.
In for today. I hope this was beneficial. Going over school discipline procedure, protocol, process for regular ed students and special ed students. Y'all want me to go back to law school? I got accepted to law school about 10 years ago, and I turned it down because I was still working on my doctorate. I got accepted to a small law school in Florida, Central Florida, and I turned it down because I was working on my internship for my doctorate in clinical psychology, which I have. If I could do it over, brother and sisters, I would have dropped out of that doctorate program and I should have went to law school. I made a big mistake. If I do go back to law school, y'all gonna pay for it because I'm not taking out no more loans. Y'all hear me? If I get accepted to a law school, are y'all willing to raise the money for me to go? Because law school is that's going to be about a $300,000 investment. Would y'all raise the money for me to be educated at law school so I can come and fight for your children? Okay? If y'all would raise the money, I would do it, but I'm not paying for it. I've been struggling for our children for 20 years. If y'all going to pay for it so I can help fight for y'all even more, I'll go. But if y'all not going to pay for it, I'm not going. I'm going to end.
See that? So, James, what I'm getting at is that Umar, he refines these scams. He put this out there as a filler to see what type of response he would get. And he didn't get a very good response. So he hasn't talked about that since, at least based on my research. I don't think I've ever heard him talk about it again. $300,000. But he throws it out there just to kind of, so what I'm getting at is that he's been doing this for such a long time. He knows how far he can go. And then over time, he's figured out, okay, what can I get away with in terms of getting money out of people? Well, obviously that didn't work, the 300,000. There's something else I want people to think about too. You notice Umar says, I'm not taking out any more loans. He was in higher education pursuing different degrees for 20 years. How much student loan debt you guys think he has? 20 years? See, he's not even in a financial position to be able to manage a school. Thanks, James. The whole scenario is just is so out there. Jose Cook says, I emailed you. I'm working on with Amazon, a small biz, to launch a free online learning and research platform. Okay, I'll get into my email tonight. I'm so behind on emails, like 2 months. I try to get to emails as quickly as possible. Thanks, Jose Cook, for email for the super chats. I will check my email after this live stream. Travis Meyer says, I can't get over the flip phone. Yeah. That was crazy. That was crazy. I mean, a lot of people, matter of fact, that right there with Umar, he had the fake phone call. That woke a lot of people up too, way back in the day. Yeah. Thank you for super chat. Truck Talk says, is that the same pallet the HVAC the HVAC was on? I don't think so. His headboard. Yeah, but I mean, even though it looks, I mean, come on. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to try to shame anybody because that's how they hotel or motel was. I ain't gonna do that because that's down in South Africa. But I will say this, that I don't think Umar cares. I don't think he cares about that. I don't think he cares. I think for him, it's still comfortable. I mean, what's the alternative? Sleeping in his car, sleeping inside the school, or sleeping in his mama's house when he can? Because again, like I said, he's not supposed to be there. With all the heat that's on him right now, then with his mama, I highly doubt that he's there as much as he normally is. See, the point is that for Umar, it doesn't matter as long as he has a place where he can lay his head, because he's been homeless since 2019. You know, it's amazing. There are black people, and I'm not saying this to be disrespectful, but there are black people who see this guy as this great leader, but he's homeless. How can you see a homeless man who has substance abuse issues and clearly has some serious mental health issues and is a deadbeat, don't even take care of his own kids? He don't even know how to take care of himself. How can you see him as a great black leader? Well, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, you know. Yeah, Umar, he has manipulated the minds of his followers into seeing him as something that he's not. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat. Holly B says, apologies to Mona, but Umar's head still thumping. Yeah. I think she probably held her own because she seemed like she could handle Umar. Because Umar, you know how he usually tries to dominate everything. That's what he usually, especially when it comes to women. The other thing too is, you all know, Umar, he liked the light-skinned women. Okay, and I'm just saying that as a statement of fact, not that it makes me any difference. I'm just saying. Okay, so he may even start talking freak off talk, trying to get at her. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised at all, because that's how Umar, that's how he operates. Thanks, Holly B. Black Wolf gifted a membership. Thank you so much, Black Wolf. Whoever received that membership, make sure you thank Black Wolf. Thank you so much. Jonathan says, "What's up?" Jonathan says he was testing the waters. Yeah. With him throwing out the $300,000. I guess potential fundraiser, so he can go back to law school. That's just him testing the waters to see what type of response. And that's what con men do. Con artists do, scammers do. They'll throw stuff out there to try to get fillers and see, you know, how people respond. And if they respond enough to where the scammer or the con man, they say to themselves, okay, yeah, there's a potential for me to get some money out of this. Then they'll roll with it. And in some cases, they'll roll with it just enough to get a certain amount of money, and then they abandon that. In some cases, they'll run with it, like Jay Morrison. He went on that whole TREP fund thing for quite some time and got close to $12 million. But see, once he saw the money coming in, he just stuck with it and just siphoned as much as he could. Right? It's like a leech. He got as much as he could, and then once it was no longer tenable, he abandons it, and then ultimately he pads his pockets. He gets property, and he gets a home for his family. It's $1 million home, if I remember search correctly, right? But understand that initially, Jay Morrison have to throw fillers out there to see how people would respond, and he throws a Tulsa on top of that to tap into the emotional space and the trauma of Tulsa and all this other stuff. I mean, it's very manipulative. Umar does the same thing. You know, war on black boys, Scooter prison pipeline. That's same shit, right? It's not the same shit, but the same strategy, manipulative technique. So Jay Morrison, he threw fillers out before he actually went full-fledged into that. Okay, he prepped all of that. You know, he was doing stuff, them talking about real estate and all this stuff. Okay, that fuels the fire leading up to, okay, we're gonna buy back Wall Street. What you talking about? Y'all see this? So I guarantee you that if even after putting out the fillers, because he recognized that there was a major interest in it, money started coming in like crazy. If that money dropped off real quick, like it was okay, there's only so much. Okay, there's people who are interested, but it's not a lot. I'm sure he would abandon that and just move on to something else. But that money kept coming upwards to about $12 million. And then finally, once it was no longer tenable, and basically he wasn't issuing out any dividends, and everyone was losing money except him, he abandons it. Well, Umar, that's what he did with this. He was testing the waters to see. Y'all look out for that. Okay. Thanks, Jonathan. Swagolini says, I would just accept my fate if Umar became a public defender. No, can you imagine this criminal up there on the stand, scam artist on the stand as a public defender? Can you imagine that? Well, let me stop. Thanks, Swagolini, for the super chat. Blackwell said, Leonard, did you add that mill Umar said they paid him not to run against Joe Biden? No, I didn't even add that million to it. There was a time when Umar was saying that the Democratic Party paid him $1 million. Anybody remember that hit the one? I kid you not. I can find it. It was a Instagram post. I don't believe he actually did a video. It was an Instagram post. I have it. I mean, it's old. This is like years ago. Yo, anybody remember that hit the one? I'm not making it up. He was saying that the Democratic Party was going to pay him $1 million. They paid him. I thought he said they paid him $1 million. This guy, he lies. So yeah. I ain't making it up. I know it sounds like I am, but I'm not. What's up, 100% real man? I'm not making this up. Erica, you don't know about that. What's up, Flex? I kid you not. That's why I always this confirmation right here. When you guys see these ones, because we all ain't gonna be lying. We don't be lying up over here. Umar be lying, but we don't be doing that. But yeah, that's what he said. Everybody like, what? Yeah. But that's what he said. It was in a post. I kid you not. I have it somewhere. What's up, Trey? I have it somewhere. Oh, HQ got kicked out. Oh, poor thing. I didn't see none of his his or her comments. So don't make me no difference. Come on. Yeah, he said they paid him. Agnat said he blocked me when I called him out on that lie. I was working for the campaign. See, there you go. Umar he be lying so much. He just be making up. He be sitting in them hotel rooms by himself thinking of stuff. What's up, Maddie and Barn? Okay, let's get back to it before I get blowed off in this. What's up, David? Before I get blowed off inside of this chat room. Yeah, you're right about that. I was talking about that earlier. Yeah. Okay, let's get back to it. Let's get back to the original video. Here we go.
So don't leave. There's no way. I'm telling y'all. Okay.
Good. I'm not messing with no woman who dog sleep in the bed with her.
Do you know anybody personally? Any of your male black friends have white wives and mixed kids? Anybody?
A friend? No. I don't have snow bunny hoppers for friends.
How about like cousins
Umar doesn't have any friends.
and brothers, like family members? When you go to
Yeah,
the
I got family members who bunny hop. Yes.
Man, I want that reunion.
No, it ain't. No, because they know where I stand. I know where they stand. The snow bunny know who I am.
Leave Uncle out for
No, I'm not going to mistreat her. If she speak, listen, y'all got to understand something. Because I don't hate nobody.
Right.
I have white fans.
Of course
sure
you do.
I have Asian fans. I had an Arab woman just send me a picture on Instagram yesterday. Said, would you like me? I'm built like a sister. She was.
Here we go. See, he always got to turn it into some sort of a objectification situation. In this Arab Umar. Anyway.
As fat as shit, but you're not black. You're not black. I can't tap it. It's against the rules. It's against the rules.
Have you been married?
Yeah, he's talking reckless, y'all. He's talking so reckless. And he don't have no shame. None.
Married before?
I've never been married.
Will you?
I've never lived with a woman.
And if you do get married,
Two.
Okay, I want y'all to think about that. He's 50. He's never even lived with a woman. I want y'all really to think about that. Think about that. He about to be 51. Yeah, except his mama. You're right about that. Yeah. It is. It is. Yeah. You're right. Except his mama. So let me rephrase that. which doesn't make it better. You know what I'm saying? You guys leave him alone. Let me prove my point. Stop, okay? Let me prove my point. This chat room is a mess. Come on now. Let me speak my speech, okay? He hasn't lived with any woman in his life except his mama, and he's 50. He's about to be 51. And he lived with his mama when he lives off of his mama at 50, about to be 51. Y'all don't think that that's strange? I don't know what to tell y'all on that. Yes, arrested development is part of it too. Yeah, I saw that. Yep. Let's keep going.
Queens!
Got it.
Stop yelling. Why are you always yelling? I think he was tooted before he got on here. And this guy over here needs to cut it out.
You not black. I can't tap it. It's against the rules. It's against the rules.
Have you been married before?
I've never been married. I've never lived with a woman.
And if you do get married,
two queens.
Got it. So
they don't have to live in the same house. They don't have to live in the same state.
You have to live in the same.
To live in the same country.
Look at this guy. I thought those look like Nikes. Are those Nikes? Umar, I thought you said the Nikes, that's the white man business, and that we shouldn't be, black people shouldn't be buying all that, right? I could be wrong. That's what they look like to me. Isn't that what it looked like? I don't know. Someone said they're Air Max. Yeah, you just said that. Yeah. It looked like they brand new. He probably got them just for the show. You know, he said, I'm going to be up here. I'm going to look my best with these Max Air. But he tells black people that we're not supposed to be buying Nikes and all that. He wants your grit money as well. Umar got on some Temu Max. All right. This guy got on some Nike, some jeans, and a dashiki. Can we get it together? If we can get this together, I'd appreciate it. Let's go.
They ain't got to live on the same continent because I'm intercontinental Ifatunde.
Damn, y'all ain't even in the palace together?
It's up to them. Now, if they say they want to live together, but they can't be popping each other because I don't do no LGBT.
It's y'all's principle. Umar Ifatunde McNasty. That's going to be Umar's principal name. Umar Ifatunde McNasty. Let's keep. Somebody said, Nike Shein. Nike's forever, Adidas never. Cricket Crush chat is crazy. Let's go.
They can't be what each other?
They can't be popping each other. They ain't the type of
no
partner.
scissoring.
What's this got to do with opening up a school for black boys? I don't know what to say. Let's keep going.
Scissoring. You know when they scissor, when they bump coochies. Dr. Umar.
Umar about to turn into a werewolf. He heard that. He said, ooh. He altered beast. I told y'all he heard that. And you know Umar, he into that freak stuff. That's the thing. He into that freak stuff. All right. Let's go.
Nah.
It's like this.
Not in the Ifatunde.
You can't.
You know what's
So
all eyes on Papa.
So you're not having intercourse with both wives at the same time?
No.
Ain't no need for that.
That's gay.
4 cheeks, that would be a pretty sight. But no, we're not going to do that.
Here he go. And according to Lene, that's what he wanted anyway. But we gonna leave that right there. Yeah. You want to come on? No, I'm just playing. Because then it's going to go to that level, then the thumbs and all this other stuff. I don't want to I don't want to do that again. Let's keep going. Here we go.
4 cent a bunch. No, we're not doing the freaking. This is not a freak off. This is a marriage.
So listen.
That's life.
It's not a freak off. It's a marriage.
So listen, you have to.
And if they ever come home with a loosey goosey, they getting divorced. If you ever get in my bed and your rubber band pop, keep going to your mama house.
What the?
This guy, he's sick.
What does that mean?
If the rubber band popped.
Like the hymen? They gotta be virgin.
If your walls are worn out.
Okay, but you would know that before you marry. You would know that. You're not gonna test it?
You damn right I'm gonna test it.
I know.
What is going on here? He always talking about that too. I don't get that. For some of us brothers, that don't even matter. Y'all catch my drift. Get the one. Evidently, it matters to Umar. He always goes there. Freak. He's a nasty freak. Let's see here. Yeah. I gotta find that receipt. Netta says, for those who have a problem with Lennon pressing Umar, newsflash, he cares about black people more than Umar. Umar is pro-black, is pro-black money, not black. Yeah, he wants black people's money. Yeah, he's not pro-black. If you guys listen to Umar when he talks, most of what he says when he's talking about black people is negative. That's one of the most critical points to this Umar Johnson, to really see who he is. I mean, there's so many other ones too. The sexual deviancy is another aspect of it. And I can already see it. We can see it here clearly. But one of the critical aspects of Umar, when you really want to see him for who he is, listen to how he talks about black people. He's always disparaging black people, disrespecting black people, criticizing black people. You rarely hear him talking about any white people. He called black people by name and going, he always clout chasing off of celebrities. So especially successful black men in entertainment and in sports. This is a key component right here. He goes after successful black women too. Listen to Umar when he talks about black people. Overwhelmingly, it's negative. Now, I will say this, because I'm not no black leader and I don't profess to be a part of the quote unquote black conscious community, but I know one damn thing. I love my children. I love my wife. I can tell you all that clearly. You want to be a revolutionary? Let's start right there. See, Umar, he don't got a woman. He don't got a wife, and he don't even bother taking care of his kids. Y'all know he been on child support for over 22 years with all the different baby mamas, 3. You put them all together on a timeline, it's been over 22 years, sequentially speaking. Still on child support. Y'all know that Umar, he's had his license revoked. He tells people that he pays his child support. That's not true, because if you paid your child support, why you got all these bench warrants on your docket for these baby mamas? And you, not only has he had his license revoked, Umar's been to jail for not paying child support. Did you guys know that? How can you say you love black people when you don't even love your own children and you don't take care of your own children? You're not even married. You're 50 years old. Umar's never even lived with the woman at the age of 50. That ain't got nothing to do with love. What kind of man at the age of 50 ain't never lived with a woman? Unless you don't like women. Okay. And no, his mama don't count based on what I'm talking about, if that makes sense to people. But I do see the point. Okay. Anyway, yeah, Umar, he doesn't have any love for black people. And I'm adamant about this, that if you want to start somewhere, love your wife, love your children, start there. Okay. Thanks, Netta, for the super chat. Maddie says, Linda, do you think the vandalism was real, or was the damage due to rainwater and damp conditions? Didn't the gym have a puddle at one time? Okay, so, and this is good, really good. So the puddle that was shown over and over again, especially in 2019 and 2020, maybe even in 2021, that was in the small gym. The vandalism that Umar is showing is in the large gym across the street. And that was the first time he showed the inside of that building on the other side of the street. That's the first time he showed it in over 6 years. No, in about 6 years. He hadn't shown it. He just would not go over there. He stopped showing it to people. And the point is that in 2019, Umar gets evicted and he moves all of his personal belongings into that large gym and stops showing it. Now, this makes sense to people? So let's go here. I put together a compilation video. I know I said we're gonna only be here, but it is what it is. Because this is an important part of this Umar Johnson saga, just the gym itself, because there's been so much that has happened even with this gym situation that's ridiculous. So let me pull up. Okay, I have a couple of versions of this. I want to pull up the best quality one, and I don't know if it's this one or if it's the other one. So let me pull this one up first. Oh, no, it's not that one because it's not coming up. There's a different codec for that one. Let me try the next one. Yeah, I think it's this one right here. I think this is the best quality. Nope, that one's not coming up either. All right, let me try one more. That one's not coming up either. It's a codec issue, but I've played it before. Let me try. Oh, this one should work, but the quality isn't that great, but that's okay. We'll go. So this is what you're referring to. This is in the large gym. We got about 2,600 people in the building. Thank you guys so much for tuning on. If you enjoyed the show, hit the like button. And there is a poll question too. Yeah, he also played vandalism, this right here on the exterior, but we're focusing on this one. So to answer your question, and here's another version. This is a side by side. I'm gonna take the audio off of here so you can just look at the video while I answer this.
Peace and love, black family. This is the
So the question is, do you think the vandalism was real or was the damage due to rainwater and damp conditions? I think the vandalism was real. I think that it took place years ago. And the reason why I can say that is because, and this is a side-by-side comparison, 2019, what the gym looked like in 2019 and then what it looks like in 2025. It just goes to show you the regression. But if you guys look carefully, there is paint. These are all Umar's personal belongings. He got evicted in 2019. But if you notice, there's dust on top of these books. There's dust on top of the paint. So this damage, this vandalism would have to be old, years old. Where Umar was showing, he was inside of the abandoned buildings and he was looking at the tiles. And then he pulled out a little tile folder thing and he started dusting it off like this. That's because all of that tile stuff has been sitting in there for who knows how long. He just brings it out now. Well, he did the same thing with the vandalism. Remember, he did the vandalism video before he went to Africa the first time. And the idea for Umar was, let me put this out there now, even though the vandalism was old, clearly it's old. Look, even though the vandalism is old, let me put it out there now so that I can get donations out of people. See this? Yeah, I didn't see any. Look right there. You see how there's like, it's almost as if someone walked through that area. You see how there's that white film. It's like dust or whatever else it is. Who knows? It shouldn't even be in here. It's on the books too. That's because this vandalism is years old. See, there's even dust on top of the desk that's flipped over. Can you guys see that? Look at the book. Look at that book. Look at the 20, 25. Look at the 20 and look right above that 20, above the text, private book. Look at the film. There's dust on top of it. This is old. Does this make sense? Hit the one. This is what I mean by forensics. Like you can really look at that. Umar, he self-exposes over and over again. See, the forensics are all here, but he tries to pass this off a couple of months ago as if this just occurred. And then he tried to, because he wanted people to send him donations. No, this is old, years old. Look at that. Look at that back wall. See, if you look look on the 2019 at the back wall, you see how it's cleared? And then look at 2025. See the back wall? It's just filth. See, this is stuff from Umar Johnson's. A lot of this stuff. I'm not talking about the desk and stuff, but the school desk. I'm talking about the personal belongings in the trash and filth. This was from Umar Johnson's apartment, right? In fact, where he got evicted from in 2019. So it had been sitting in there for about 6 years, right? As a matter of fact, let me pull one other receipt. There you go.
Alpha male, send those resumes in. fdmgresumes@gmail.com. fdmgresumes@gmail.com.
See, Umar's used to living in filth like this. He's a hoarder.
fdmgresumes@gmail.com.
See all the filth and trash? And there's a big back TV over there.
.com is what we look at. FD.
Can y'all see the big back TV over there? See it? Keep that in mind. Just filthy. See, he has his mama living in filth like this now. Right? So this video's from 2019. He gets evicted. I have the paperwork on this too. He gets evicted out of here, and then he moves his personal belongings into the large gym, and that's why he didn't show the large gym again until 2025 with all of this alleged vandalism. But this vandalism is old. There's dust on top of everything, including the paint that's on the ground. Now, could there have been water damage? It's possible, but I haven't seen any indication of that. It is definitely possible, Maddie, to answer that question. But the other gym did have a puddle inside. I think he did get that fixed from what he said. And again, you never know with this guy. Thanks for the super chat. But let me just play this so y'all can see the difference. Here, I'll even put on the audio.
Yeah, what do you think so far to walk through the tour? How you liking the school?
It's nice.
You feeling it? Samantha,
Look at all of that filth and trash.
what you think?
See, this is all personal. This ain't got nothing to do with the school. Remember, he was talking about his books. Well, that's all his books from his old residence got evicted in 2019.
Potential, I see the before and the potential of the.
See, old computer speakers, all this stuff right here is his. The pictures. Remember, he had pictures on the wall. Look at the fitted caps up there. See the caps up there. This is all Umar Johnson's belongings. It's in boxes and it's in black bags. See the shoes, the Nikes, the red, black, and green. I think it's Nikes. Okay, that's Umar's. All this stuff is Umar's stuff, but it was vandalized years ago. He put this stuff in here back in 2019, and he stopped showing it out. He stopped showing this particular gym, the large gym, and he didn't show it again until 2025, this year, because he wanted to get money out of people.
Phenomenal, tremendous.
All right, what you think, Sister Sabrina?
I see the after.
And you see right there's that big back TV. Got him. See, the forensics are all there.
Send those resumes in. fdmgresumes@gmail.com. fdmgresumes@gmail.com. FD.
See that TV back there? That big back TV.
mgresumes.
There you go. Okay. Well, that's the same TV that we see. See, in essence, what he did was he turned this side of the street into his own personal storage space. Again, he's been homeless since 2019. Where's he going to put it inside his mama's place? No, his mama's space is small, and it's already a hoarder. It's all kind of stuff up in there already. In fact, this is a video from 2020. By this time, he's inside of his mama's closet.
Red Medusa going twice. Red Medusa going once. Red Medusa
I believe it's 2020. It could be 2021, but I think it's 2020.
going twice. Where's Red Medusa? Y'all got to get on the Wi-Fi too with these calls. Y'all got to get on the Wi-Fi. Give her a second to come on in.
He's in his mama's
Where's Red
residence.
Medusa at? Where's Red Medusa? I think your Wi-Fi might be failing you, Red Medusa. South African African.
I'm sorry. Let me get to the part. Here it is right here.
I'm at the book signing, and I think either they was MK Ultra projects government robots, human robots, a real person who's been psychologically programmed to destroy their own community. I think that was the case. Or she was just a mentally ill sister, one or the other. But it's just sad because.
So did you hear about they had burned down another one of his houses earlier this year around March?
I didn't hear about that. I didn't hear about that.
Like New Jersey or somewhere.
I didn't hear about that. Yeah, he used to live in Camden, New Jersey, right over the bridge.
Yeah, I think that's the one that burned down. It was like the 78-year-old lady living inside there at the time when they were burning it down, and she said she's going to rebuild.
Wow, I wasn't even aware of that. Yeah, conspiracy to destroy Dr. King.
Yeah, they're trying to erase the history, Dr. Umar. But you keep doing your thing, Dr. Umar. You definitely got a lot of good followers out here. Good people.
Appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you. All right, now be blessed.
See this right here? This is mama's closet. He's a hoarder. So he put what he could inside his mama's closet, but most of it he stored inside of his inside the gym. So he's turned FMG, the other side of the street, he's turned into his own personal storage. So how do you take millions of dollars of black people's money and then that's what you reduce it all down to? Because not one black child has been educated. See this? The walls all dirty. If you look over to my left, I don't know if it's your left, but there's a red lace curtain. Okay, that's his mama's closet. Some people have speculated that this is the bathroom, but there's only one bathroom. And when Lene went there, she had access to the bathroom. She said it was filthy, so this couldn't be the bathroom. What I'm gonna tell you, I'll just say a closet, but I think what it is, I think it's the washer and dryer room. That's what I think it is. And I think there's no washer and dryers in there, and so he just turned that area into where he live streams from. And there's no door; it's just a sliding thing. He slides over, and then he goes out. This gets back to Maddie, what you were asking. Okay, thank you so much for the super chat. User 225 says, "Therapist dog, I'm gonna be institutionalized." yeah. If you're dealing with Umar, you definitely will be. Thank you, User 225. Smitty Boy says he thinks every woman wants him. What a joke! Yeah, he does. That's the narcissism, and he's very conceited as well. In fact, Lene said his mama said that about him. Right? Umar thinks very, very, very highly of himself. That's the narcissism. Thanks, Smitty Boy. James says because he don't want to be responsible for the bills, his supporters would be sending his wife food. Well, I think the reason why Umar has never lived with the woman is because he doesn't see women as being deserving of, what is the word here? Security. Because that's the idea. When you settle down, is to provide security, right? And I'm not just talking about physical security. I'm just talking about security all the way across the board. That's one of the most important aspects of a relationship that you can offer to a woman as a man. Financial security, emotional security, intellectual security, right? Being able to solve problems when they come up, work with her to solve problems, that type of stuff. Even sexual security is important too, right? The point is that with Umar, he's never provided that for a woman, and his lifestyle is such that he just simply sees women as resources, right? So let me use you, and then I'll discard. I'll use you, and then I'll discard. I'll use you, I'll discard. He's been doing that, and it's indefinite at this point. So for Umar, the idea of settling down with the woman, that's just not in his mindset, even though he says he wants to be married and all this stuff. But I have a video from 2014 where Umar talks about how he doesn't feel like he wants to get married. Y'all want me to pull that up? 2014. I believe it's April of 2014. It could be March. No, it's either April or May. See, so he's talking all this marriage stuff these days, but that's just a manipulative tool to make these women out here feel as if, they're going to be the next one or one of the next ones. But I can go back and show you guys a video from 2014 where Umar, he talks about relationships as if, I'm not even interested in that. But the truth is he hasn't been interested. What he wants is he wants freak off type of situation. He wants what they call sex buddies. So that when he flies into a particular city, he'll have a woman already lined up that he can have sex with. He flies into the next one. He has sex. He has a woman already lined up to have sex. He flies into the next one, and he's been living like that so that's why Umar he can say that he's never lived with the woman outside of living off of his mama. See, but that also speaks to his character. I should pull that video because some of you guys have seen it. I don't think he wants jump offs. I don't think many of you guys have seen the video. I just never played that segment of it, but at some point I'll pull it. Someone remind me in the future. I'll pull it up. It's from 2014. Okay, we got to get going here. everybody. Let me just and thanks James for the super chat. I appreciate that. And thanks Smitty Boy. User 225. Antoine says, the coconut speaks his hypocrisy yet again. What is coconut? I don't know what that is. Thanks, Antoine. thanks, Antoine. User 225. I don't do LBGs. Hey, yo, but he likes the okay. All right.